welcome to another episode of Open Book Besties. I'm Misty Walker.
And I'm Kay Webster.
But you don't look like Kay Webster today.
I'm Glam
look
Webster.
like Glam Webster. If you're listening and you can't see, Christy is dolled up. She has these smoky dark eyes and her hair is like curled and tousled and she looks absolutely stunning.
Thanks. This is how I woke up. I wish. No. I went outside of my box to have, well, the real thing is I saw a advertisement on Facebook that was like, hey, we're looking for women of Tulsa, 40 years older moms that are like doing their own thing. And you could apply to do this and you might be selected for this like whole video campaign thing or whatever. And I was like, oh, that would be like a good idea to try to get my name out there. At the time, when I was in my pajamas at 11:59 at night and eating my, whatever I was eating, ice cream, I was like, that was a good idea, and I signed up for it. And then they're like, oh, we selected you. We loved your answers. And we are really excited to have a romance author and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, we're going to do a full hair and makeup and then a photo shoot. And I was like, oh, okay. What'd I do? What'd I get myself into? And then it was always okay because it was like 2 months away. And I was like, oh, it's fine. It's 2 months away. I can do anything in 2 months away. But as soon as I got accepted, remember, I popped into your DMs and I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, maybe I should withdraw.
And you were like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I was like, okay. And this whole time I've been low-key fretting about it until then I didn't know what I was gonna wear. And then I was like, oh my God, I went to the mall and I tried on outfits and nothing looked good. And then so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna wear a t-shirt, I didn't even prepare anything. And I was so nervous. And then even to this morning, you made me feel good because I woke up and there was a message from you and it was like, good luck today. And I was like, okay. And then I basically dumped all my fears
Vomited.
on you. Yeah, and I was like, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And you were like, it's gonna be okay. Those are good, valid concerns, but it's gonna be fine. And it was, and it was very fun to get pampered. I've never had eyebrows before, so I mean, this is like fantastic. If I could redo this, if I could figure out how to do this, that would be a game changer. I could be famous with these eyebrows. So
they are definitely boss brows.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, how did she do that? She didn't even put that much work. Like I thought she was just brushing my eyebrow hairs. I didn't realize she was doing something. But she was. So yeah, I was. And then when they got done, I wouldn't even look in the mirror. I was so like, I can't. They were ready for the big reveal, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go put my shirt on in the bathroom. I ran to the bathroom, and they're like, you gotta look in the mirror. And I'm like, slam the door. And then I looked at myself in the mirror, and I opened the door and I said, I don't even recognize myself.
They did an amazing job. You look beautiful.
Thanks. And then the photography part was fine. I thought it was gonna be awkward, but it was fine. It was fun. So
your t-shirt says,
it says
free the books.
So, and the photographer actually had it made for me, and I was so proud and happy.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect. And I love that you got to stay in your t-shirt and jeans because I feel like you would have been a lot more uncomfortable about it if they tried to put a dress on you or something,
Yeah. She even mentioned you could even bring a blazer to put over your t-shirt if you want. And I was like,
blazer.
I know. I told her, I said, you told me that. And I was like, nope. I said, because this is a former banker here and I'm not going to a blazer ever. Okay. So she was like, okay, no, this is perfect. So, and we did it barefoot. So that was fun.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it gave it kind of
more nervous about being barefoot than anything.
No, I was happy. Like it made me relaxed. Like I felt like obviously that we weren't taking foot photos. We were just, my feet were in the picture in some of them. So it just made me feel more at home. Like it was relaxing. Like, oh, we got pretty today, but we're still in the clothes that I would wear at home, which is still the same clothes I would wear to the book signing, which is still the same clothes I would wear to the mall, or out to eat or to go pick up the kids from school. So like I still felt like myself. If I was wearing a blazer or something, I'd be sweating and
Yeah.
it would be bad.
Yeah.
But I told the lady whenever I got out of the bathroom, I said, I look like Sandy from Grease.
You do look like Sandy from
And she's
Grease.
like, tell you about it, stud.
Put some leather pants on and you are so her.
So yeah, I that's what I felt like was Sandy from Grease. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Sandy Christie.
Yeah. And your daughter was scared of you.
Well, first of all, I didn't tell my husband that, like, I basically told him I was going to do this thing, and then he forgot because guys forget. And then it came upon time, and I said, you know, you got to take the boy to work tomorrow because I've got to go do this thing. And he's like, what thing? And I was like, this photo shoot. And he's like, what photo shoot? I was like, I already told you about this. And he was like looking at me like I was stupid. And I said, well, anyway, and so anyway, when I didn't tell him about that they were going to do hair and makeup. And so when I showed up earlier, I walked in the door and I was like, he says, you look like a raccoon.
Oh.
And I walk over there and he's like, oh, those are some eyelashes. And I was like, I know they're fake. And he was like, wow, you're gonna have fun getting those off. No, I could tell he was low-key liking it. But then Avery was in her room and I opened the door and her bedroom light was off and she's watching stuff on her phone. I walk in there, I turn the light on and she looks at me and she goes, and I said, hi, honey. And she said, Mom, you scare me. You don't even look like yourself. Even my dog was like, who's that girl?
Oh,
meanwhile, all the people
gosh,
that are passing by on the highway, they're all like, wow, pull out their phones. No.
Yeah. Who is that famous person?
And I almost fell down the stairs before we set this up. And I was like, if I went to the ER, I'd be like, help me first, I'm famous. Can't you tell?
Can't you tell by my eyelashes and my brows?
It's the eyebrows. These are famous eyebrows.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a whole event already, even though it's cool. I'm gonna take a few pictures and I'm doing this, but then I'm gonna be excited to wash it all off.
Yeah.
Just like a lot. Like she put so many layers of things on me. I was like, ugh. But
Yeah.
it was fun. It was a really good time. And I cannot wait. She said in like a week we'll see, you know, we'll do a Zoom and see. Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna Zoom you and show the
Yeah.
pictures. How
So
fun.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Take a screenshot or something of that because I want to see too. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm excited to see what kind of cool stuff she does with it. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was way outside my wheelhouse, you know, like it was just.
So did they ask you questions?
Yeah. Like one of the reasons that she wanted me was because my answers about censorship and how I didn't think, you know, I didn't like being censored because obviously I'm banned books lady. And so I kind of went into that and like all of those sorts of things. And so she had asked me questions about what I thought. And we talked about like double standards, like it's okay for this kind of stuff to happen in Game of Thrones and it's famous and everybody loves it. But when it's, you know, a romance writer's book, suddenly it's too much, it's too over the top. It's how could you? And she, you know, she made a good point. They always go for the kids. Like, you know, you should have your kids taken away. You know, it's like, okay, why am I getting attacked? And you know, people who write the same thing because they're a man, they don't get attacked. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we kind of dug into all of that and hopefully it'll turn out cool. So
well, I'm glad they did because I feel like Oklahoma's one that tends to ban books often. So
yeah. So it was fun to like, I felt like a little rebel, you know, and I feel like everybody has a little bit of a rebellious streak inside them for the most part, especially if you're a romance reader or writer. A lot of times you know, you're reading stuff that people will kind of like, you know, turn their nose at. So it's kind of like we develop our own little attitude about it. Like, yeah, what are you going to do about it?
Are you nervous at all about like other people around you seeing that?
No. I mean, I don't care. They can see it.
Like your kids' teachers and.
Nope, I don't care. I really don't. No.
Good.
I really don't like when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not like worried about that. Like, what are they gonna do? Be like, ooh, I thought you wrote children's books. Darn you, Christy. Like, do these eyebrows look like children's book eyebrows? No.
This
These
is
are
for sure
banned.
banned book
Right.
brows.
Yeah,
Okay.
banned eyebrows.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So it was definitely fun to kind of talk about that stuff. So
Good. That's awesome. And it kind of leads us into what we wanted to talk about today too.
yeah.
Because we wanted to talk about being brave with your writing.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
that is like something that you obviously understand and practice.
And you do too. A lot of your books have very controversial, I mean, well, I can think of one in particular. Conversion is very controversial, and like you toe the line on your stuff too, you know? So it's like, you're a brave writer. I feel proud of us. We're so brave.
Well, I feel like I've kind of lost that recently, and that's what I'm trying to do with the book that I'm writing right now, because it's for a forbidden / taboo project.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like social media has kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but they've kind of scared me
Mm-hmm.
into being as brave as I think I once was.
Yeah.
So
Well,
how do you stop that from happening? Please tell me.
well, as you know, I do stuff all the time that I'm like, this is probably going to be iffy. You know, it's always iffy,
well, and it's easy for me whenever you have something, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, do it, you know.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to me, I get a little bit antsy.
Well, this is the way I see it. Okay, so when I write something brave, usually if it's brave and I had to second guess myself and it kind of made me feel awkward and I kind of had to wonder about it, the readers are gonna love it. Like, hands down, they're gonna love it. And yes, there will be people who don't love it and who are gonna have something to say with it. But those people that don't like it and get on social media and rant and rave, if they do, they actually sell the books for me. So I mean, it's a win-win. Like, I'm getting to write what I want. I am not feeling bad about it. And then if I get haters, they actually help sell the book for me. So, you know, it's not like, you know, they're going to cancel me or whatever. It's just, you know, they just, I don't know. I just don't worry about it. Cause I mean, I feel like I went through with The Wild and I had so much like hate and all this stuff and people trying to get rid of me, and they just couldn't get rid of me. You know, it's like, I'm still here. Like, you can try, I'll come at you 1,000 different ways and in different directions, and I'm here to stay, so might as well go pick on somebody else.
Do you feel like your experience with The Wild kind of like taught you that?
Yeah, I mean, because you remember whenever it first happened, I was like, so like, oh my God, what do I do? I'm freaking out, you know. And I feel like though it basically gave me an example that happened to me, a real life thing, that this happened, this is the worst it could get, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like the very worst thing that I could imagine happened, and nothing happened. Like, I'm still here. I still made money. If anything, I made more money. I got more exposure because of all the hate. Because all the haters, that many more people around them were curious and wanted to read it, and, you know, wanted to support me because they didn't like me being hated upon or whatever. So that's what the haters don't really realize what they're doing is anytime they go on these little hate brigades, they're actually sending a bunch of people to go buy the book.
Right.
You know, so I feel like if they knew that, they wouldn't do that, because they wouldn't want you to like profit from it. But you know, and so basically, even though it got really, really bad and terrible, and all of my fears that I could possibly come up with actually happened, I didn't go away. I didn't disappear, and I made money from it. So it was like the worst it could possibly get. I didn't disappear. I didn't die. Like, I didn't go to jail, you know, like I didn't fall into a hole and never crawl back out. Like, nothing happened. Literally, all that happened was I got new readers, I made new friendships and relationships, and I leveled up on my career. So it definitely gave me the building blocks to be more confident and realize that, okay, I got this. No more fearing the what ifs, because it's going to be okay. And I feel like that's one good thing about the wild and all this stuff, and with Eden books and everything, is people can see, okay, well, Christy just went through all this and she survived and she's doing really good. Okay, I think I can do this too. And if
Yeah,
anything
you're
goes
like a
south,
good example for that.
yeah, I'll holler at her and be like, things went south, what do I do? And I can be like, you got this, you're gonna be all right, so.
And it opened kind of a lot of doors for you, as far as you figured things out very, very fast. You figured out how to sell books on your website very, very quickly. You figured out how to amplify your signed paperback sales. Like, you took what they did to you by getting your books taken off of Amazon. You took all of those bad things and figured out a solution very, very quickly.
Right. And I basically, instead of what I could have done is like, oh, that was my banned book, let's hide it, let's never talk about that again, let's move along, let me write some sweet contemporary romances. See, I still write good. Look, guys, I still write good. I'm still okay. I'm nice. Look at me, I'm nice. But I was like, yeah, I can do that too, but also, this is my brand.
Yeah,
I am Taboo Queen. I survived. Wild books, here we are. Buy them out of the trunk of my car if you have to. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna have them. I will hand deliver them if I got to. And so I feel like I've made that part of who I am and part of my brand, and that's kind of, it's been beneficial, and it's opened up a lot of doors that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So.
And you do have a couple books that were banned that you changed things around to be on Amazon.
Right. Yeah. I've had a few that way. And like, for one, Preach got banned, and I don't know if it was Amazon just
Yeah,
tells
that
you.
was really weird.
It was. The Amazon tells you it's either the cover, it's the title, or it's the content. That's it.
Yeah.
That when you get banned, that's what they tell you. So people are like, well, what did they ban it for? I don't know. Honestly, I have an idea, but I don't know. With Preach, I had no idea, because everything was like above the board except for, the religion aspect. But there's a million books out there like that. So I didn't understand why mine was in trouble. And all I did was change it to Easton and gave it a different cover, and I put it right back up, and it was fine. So,
yeah.
But with the Wild, obviously I figured it was always going to be like a troublesome book, and any that I felt like would be troublesome, I just started selling them from my website straight out of the bat in on Eden Books, because it's like, I'm just going to bypass all the drama and go straight here. And guess what? My readers are going to be like, ooh, we got one that we can't buy on Amazon. Let's go get it, So I don't know. It's worked out. And I feel like nobody really had done that and really just done a thing like this. So, but now all these other authors, if you wrote something that was super forbidden, that wasn't Amazon safe, you'd be like, okay, let me see what Christy did. Maybe I could do this and this, or ask her or whatever. And then I could be successful and avoid all that drama.
Yeah.
So.
And some authors do just go and hide.
Right.
Or they come out swinging, which
Right.
is also kind of, in our eyes, the wrong thing to do.
Right. Yeah. As far as like, they want to fight back, and and that, like, I totally get it. Like, how many times I was like, oh, I want to tell them off so bad, but it doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything to them, doesn't do anything to you. All it does is make you look bad too, because everybody's watching and they're seeing how you react. And if you just keep on trucking along and you're your business self and you're doing a good job and you're kind to others and, a nice person, people notice that and they respect you for that. And you could write the most raunchiest, terrible thing, you could, but if you're a nice person, people do respond to that. And it's hard, because you really do want to like defend yourself, but it's not worth it.
No. And that's one of the things that I like just respected so much was the way that you handled it. And not only that, but you came out and were like, hey guys, because all these other people are coming out swinging in your defense. You're like, hey guys, that's not.
Right.
And it was over just as fast as it began, pretty much.
Mhm.
And I think that was due to your response.
Yeah, I mean, and it's basically, and I have people a lot of times still that they'll bring something to me about my book, like, oh, so and so copied your book, or it looks just like it, and they're copying your brand. What are you gonna do? And I'm like, well, maybe they just want to be like me, but it'll never be the wild, like the end. What, moving right along, because I'm not gonna, it's just a waste of energy to worry about all that,
Right. There's a few things like that that are just kind of a waste of energy. I get a lot of people messaging me that my books are up on pirate sites, and they're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Right.
What am I going to do?
Right. I could spend all of my time trying to get them off, or I could just write more books.
Yeah.
Because there's all of your readers who are there that are going to buy them legitimately. And even selling, like on my website, like one of my big fears in the beginning was like, okay, well, essentially I'm giving them my file.
Right. And
And
they
then
can
I'm
send
like,
that to whoever.
but exactly. But how many times I had people, and it would be like, they would have bought the wild 2 times. And so I'd reach out and say, I think you made an error and accidentally bought this twice. Oh no, I bought it for my sister too. So they could have taken that file and sent it to their sister.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They bought it twice. So the people that are there that are reading, that are going to support you, they're going to do it the legitimate, correct way. And that's what I'm here for. That's who I'm writing for. That's, so.
And that's where you're going to focus your energy.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to write more books for them. I'm going to interact more with them instead of worrying about all these other people. And like I always say, I can't control the world.
Right.
I want to, but I can't.
Yeah. I'm really good at that, but I think it's just because I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago, like the second that I got the spoons scenario put in front of me, like you only have so many spoons, like my entire world changed after that. And I don't have spoons for a lot of things that people are like, what are you going to do about this?
Yep.
I'm not going to do anything about that.
Yep.
And I don't have any spoons.
Yeah, I think that's why you and I get along so well, because we are kind of that way. Like when it comes to like, dramatic type stuff, we're both kind of like, that sucks. Anyway, so what did you eat earlier? Like, did you have a good breakfast? What do the kids do? Like, literally, it's just, that's it. The end. We move on. Like, it's very rare that we will sit and like obsess over something, Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. So the next thing that we kind of wanted to touch on was we had an interview together.
We did.
On a podcast called Buzzing About Romance.
And let me tell you, those girls, they had their shit together.
Yeah.
They were professionals. And then we roll in and we were not.
They're like, so what do you do? What do you think about this and this? And we're like, we don't know. We just record it and hand it over to our producer, my husband, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. They're like, where do you upload it? Does it go here, here, here? And we're like, I don't really know.
Anchor, does that mean anything?
Yeah. We're like, we really don't know what we're doing.
She's like, what are your ratings?
Like, you have a rating?
There's ratings.
She's like, yeah, out of like, what'd she say? Out of like 400,000 podcasts or whatever she said. I said, oh, we must be 400,000. That's our rating.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then they looked us up and we didn't even have one.
We didn't even have a rating.
I was like, yep, that sounds about right.
But it was fun.
It really was. It was fun because what was funny is one of the girls in the group of the duo was like me, and the other one was like you. Like one was the chill like you, and then one was like the let me learn all the things about everything about this thing, So it did inspire me and to want to like do better.
Yeah. There must be like one of us in every bestie relationship, you know?
Yeah. And I think that has to be that way. Like, that way you have that yin and yang type of situation where you fit together.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
It was fun though.
if we were both like, could you imagine if you also were like, let me learn all the things and be a go-getter like the way I am? There is no telling what kind of weird crap that we'd be doing.
Yeah, we would both spiral so out of control.
We'd have like 10 businesses and 12 podcasts. I mean, like all this stuff going on and nobody to rein us in. I have you to rein me in, and you have me to inspire you to do these other things,
Yeah, because if we had two of me, we'd just be like smoking pot and laughing all day or something.
Just chilling in our beanbag chairs.
Eating Cheetos.
Yep. No. We would be, I feel like if I ever went to your house, we would sit in the bed together.
Yeah.
Like side by side, like two little old ladies with our laptops. Jibber jabbing.
My sleep number bed.
Yeah. You would
what
have
number do you like?
Yeah. Ty would be like, oh God, she's got to sleep with sleep in the bed with you. I'm like, yeah.
Like you're in the office tonight, buddy.
Yeah. We got important shit to talk about.
I can buy you a matching lap tray so we could have our laptops.
You could record from your bed. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
It really would.
Because that's exactly where I was when we recorded the podcast.
I
know. For buzzing about romance. I was in bed.
I know. I was so jealous. And luckily they didn't do video of their podcast like we do.
Yeah.
So I got to go in looking like a frumpy frump. So I was happy.
Yeah, that was amazing. I think I put on brows because I don't normally have brows, but that's all I did.
Yeah. We did a good job, I think.
Yeah.
We held our own, even though we are, at the end of the line on our podcast. We try really hard though.
We do.
And the cool thing about theirs is theirs was more like book focused, like the books they're reading, they're first and foremost readers, whereas ours is, we are readers and we talk about books and stuff, but ours is kind of like
authors.
Yeah. And then I feel like we also bring like the mom vibe into it too. Like, being a mom and doing all of these things. And that was one of the things that the girl said, that we bring like a realness to it, that people feel like they can relate to us, because it's like, oh yeah, she's just a mom at home who doesn't want to put on her makeup either, or her, if I was doing this, my dog would be busting in the door with his big cone head interrupting me, like, or my kid or whatever. So I feel like people kind of like can relate to us.
Yeah.
And that's good. Like I want that. Like I want people to realize that if they're thinking about writing a book, they totally can, because we did it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on the Hot Mess Express. We can do it. You can do it. I mean, and that's literally how I feel about anything. Like I look at people and I think, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Like why can't I do it? Why can't I be a famous YouTuber?
Yeah. Why can't we be number 1 rated?
Right?
On the podcast charts.
We totally are. You're already listening to a thing, and I'm gonna learn too, and we're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
It's real. We just
all of you listening right now, just be prepared. There's gonna be a lot more of you.
Yeah. All you guys will be coming with your 5 stars. If we get like a lot of subscribers with a lot of like, good reviews and all that stuff, I could have these eyebrows every day.
Yeah. All of you on YouTube could be met with boss brows every day. Every episode.
So true.
It's funny because you were waggling your brows earlier, and I was trying so hard to waggle mine, and my forehead is frozen from Botox and I can't do it.
Oh, I know. I have a very expressive face, I think. Like I'm just like, especially my eyes, a lot of times I'm like, whoa. I sent a picture to my family, and my sister's like, yeah, can you send me another picture where you're not making that face? Because I was like,
That was the selfie you sent me. I'm like, I can tell you look really, really pretty, even though that face you're sporting is not it.
it's because you just, it's hard to be serious.
So this is a completely different tangent, but my family is very, very religious, and they're coming into town next week. Well, not next week, the week after. And so I started to this is something we talked about on the podcast too, like how to, religion proof my house, because you can't see it, but I have penises up on the top shelf.
Oh my gosh.
And someone's going to be staying in this room. And then I have all my books, and then I have all my book covers on canvas around my room.
I told you, get a little sticky and write, don't look, don't look, don't look.
They gave me a really good suggestion with my bookcase downstairs, because not only do I have all the books where you can see the spines, but I have all of these display things, and then
Right.
My favorite books
Mm-hmm.
facing outward. And she's like, just flip them all around, and it could be an aesthetic thing where you're just showing the pages of the books. So I think I'm gonna have the teenagers do that for me.
That's a good idea.
Flip everything, or I could just leave it and be like, this is
Or
me.
you could get real special and tack a blanket on the wall, put this veil over it, and then put the sticky note that says, do not look behind the veil or you're going to hell.
No, I'll just hang a picture of Jesus on it.
Jesus says no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have another tangent to go off, because I just am so enjoying what's happening right now with my 12-year-old. She's almost 13. Mm-hmm. I will say, I want to specify that before people go crazy and judge me. But her cousin gave her first romance book while they were camping, and that kid devoured it in I don't know, 2 days. And now she is hooked. She's read 2 more since then, and that was just last weekend. And all she can do is talk about it. She just wants to tell me every single detail of the books that she's reading. And, they do have a little spice in it. She's like, Mom, I couldn't read it. I just had to skip the pages.
Aw, that's cute.
But she loves them, and it's so much fun. And I love to buy books. I have never bought so many books in such a short amount of time as I have this last week. Yay. Every day Amazon is showing up with more.
That's awesome. That's really cool. She's excited.
What's funny is she's away this weekend, and so she FaceTimed me. She's like, Mom, this book has the girl's perspective and the boy's perspective. She goes, I really, really love that. And I'm like, that's called dual POV.
Yep.
She's like, love it too. You do that? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, why did you ever tell me? Why did you ever tell me that romance books were so good? I'm like, why do you think our house is covered in them and I write them? Why do you think this is our life?
Right. This is my passion too, my dear child.
Yeah. But it's so fun, and it makes me smile every time. I'm enjoying it so much.
My daughter she's just not there. And my son, he does all the anime stuff. And so he understands a book being pristine and having it displayed a certain way and putting it in plastic or whatever. And so a lot of times Amazon will send him a book and he's like, they didn't even pad it. It's got dented edges. He gets all flustered. And I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. And so he recognizes the same thing. So I show him covers and stuff. So he appreciates that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. But with my daughter, the thing that she, I guess, can relate with is when it comes to all of the TikToks and video making and all that stuff. She's okay with all that, but when it comes to books, no, she doesn't care anything about books. Not even at all. None.
Well, she needs to notice trends and then send them to me so that I can do them too.
Well, what's funny is she notices the trends and they annoy me, and I'm like, why does she keep singing this dumb song? And if I would have went on when she was doing this dumb song, like at the time she was doing the dumb song, I could have beat like a whole trend. And I'm like, I need to pay attention to this kid.
Yeah.
She was ahead of the trend.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we need from her.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to be sending me that stuff too.
But she
Uh,
values herself way more than I can afford. So she's always like, how much are you gonna pay me? I'm like, can't you just do it for free?
yeah, yeah. Can't you just do it because I clothe you and feed you and love you?
You're my kid. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. My oldest will watch TikTok, but the only thing she ever sends me is plant videos because she's obsessed with plants. That's the only reason why I have plants all in my office, is because she keeps them alive. I can't. I'm like, I don't care about this rare plant that is variegated. Like, that does, I don't, but that's all she sends me.
Oh.
And then Mabel, she's gotten banned so many times from TikTok that she can't even have her phone number registered anymore. So she can't send me anything.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. My daughter gets banned a lot too, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all are doing.
Yeah, yeah. Mabel's a little social justice warrior, and I had to like have a talk with her and be like, you're not going to change these people's minds no matter what you say. Like, you just scroll right past, you know.
Right.
You don't need to argue with grown adults on TikTok.
Well, and then my daughter has the problem where she has my husband's sense of humor. So the stuff that she finds funny is actually sometimes not funny or not appropriate. And like, you know, you have to be one of them to get the humor in it. And everybody else is like, you know, why'd you post that? So yeah.
I've seen her TikToks. It's cute. She's got some dance moves.
Yeah, she does. She can moonwalk.
She would get that from you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. No.
Oh, we always end up talking about TikTok. It's just
I know it is. It's just what we do.
Do you know what I've noticed lately is that when I do like a trending sound, a trending video or whatever, like even if I'm just like lip syncing to whatever it is and it's trending, I get no views. And then I do a video of me talking and I get a bunch. I don't want to talk.
I know, but like I'll tell you like I tell everybody else, that's what the people are here for. They're here for you. They're not here for your trends and all this. They connect with you. There's something about you. You're the only person. The reason I love your TikToks is because A, your voice is hypnotic. B, your eyebrows and your lips are always on point. Like, you're just stunning to stare at. There's something about you that's mesmerizing. So when you talk, you stop and you pay attention, and you always have something interesting to say. And then when you're doing your little book packaging videos, it is very relaxing. Like, it's soothing. You can just put it on repeat. And yes, you could make a YouTube channel of just you talking, and you could be like, have 1 million subscribers. I'm serious.
I told my daughter that people were commenting that they liked my voice, and they wouldn't believe it. I had to actually bring up the comments and show them because
they were not.
Husband and Mabel would not believe it at all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Then again, I'm not yelling.
Yeah. It's just so funny because it's like, it makes you wonder, like, you know, we get our like readers and people who love our stuff, and then it makes you wonder, like actual celebrities, like, do they have, okay, like Harry Styles, does he have like a family member that's like, okay, Harry, you know, like, like, you're just so, you know, all these people think you're amazing, but you're really just this little dork, you know what I'm saying? Like our family
grounded.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if like all these celebrities have someone in their life that is that person for them, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good. Everybody should have that person because it keeps you real.
Yeah. They definitely keep me real. That is for sure.
Yep.
So speaking of podcasts, let's get into what we're reading. because I took a note out of your book and decided to download a book called Podcasting for Beginners, and I got the value edition that has both books.
Oh,
and
okay.
Started listening to that this morning and immediately knew we were doing everything wrong.
I know. I'm gonna get that one too because I want to figure out how to do better.
Yeah. Maybe by next time.
Maybe on our second year anniversary. Yeah.
But on top of listening to that, I am revisiting, and this kind of fits with like our theme of being brave with your writing, All the Ugly and Wonderful Things.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've read it and listened to it more times than I can even say. And as I was listening to it, I couldn't remember whether you had read it or not. Yeah, whether I convinced you. Yeah. I did? Okay, good. Good. Yeah. I love this book, and I know like the topic is just disturbing and it's horrible, and like you can feel the unintentional grooming of this main character. Like I really don't think he was meaning to do it, but like it happened. Yeah. And I just love it. I love how real it is, and just the rawness and the grittiness of it. It's by Bryn Greenwood. It's called All the Ugly and Wonderful Things. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Love it.
Yeah. And then I was feeling like I needed something different. So I also listened to Lotus by Jennifer Hartman. Which her books are always like abduction or, you know, some kind of like real event from what I understand. That one was really good. And then I love Daphne Loveling's motorcycle romance books. And I happen to think that motorcycle romance should only be consumed in audiobook form because it is so much better when you have Troy Duran's voice in your ear growling out all these lines. So that one was really good. And then I listened to The Lawyer by Marnie Mann. Marnie Mann is like you and Marnie Mann and a couple of other authors. That's my first indie experience, and I adore her. I think everything she writes is golden. The spice level of this book actually like had me going, oh. And it's hard to do that with me. Like I don't like stop or like even think that it's anything different than words. Like it doesn't, you know, do that to me. But with that book, I was like, oh, like I'm feeling a little hot. So those were all total 5 stars for me. I loved them. Good. And then I'm eyeball reading. I talked about The Morning Glory Milking Farm last time. So I'm eyeball reading the second one still. It's not a long book. It's just taking me a while because I've been really tired at night lately. But it also doesn't have like that really reach out and grab you topic like Milking a Minotaur did, you know? This one's like voyeurism, which is still good, and I still like it. It's just taking me a little bit longer to get through it. And I have so many books that I want to read right now, like Blackberry by Daniel. Yes, I can't wait to. Daniel James.
I told her, I said, James, I want the paperback. So I told her, as soon as you get paperbacks, tell me, and I'm buying it because I want it on myself because it's a really good cover.
It's a beautiful cover.
And speaking of brave writing, like it's not on Amazon. You got to go to her website because it's really
is it on
like
Eden?
taboo. I don't know. It probably is. I just know for a fact it's on her website.
Yeah, so. I bought it on her website. And it's just so easy these days to buy books on websites, and it just makes me feel better not giving Amazon part of the money.
Right.
So yeah, I've been all consumed with books this week, mostly because I haven't been writing.
Well, you needed a break.
Yeah, but I really need to. I did start writing the book though, and so I feel like this topic really is going to get me into just write what I want to and not hold back because it's taboo.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Okay, I just spewed for 10 minutes. What are you reading?
Let's see. Okay, eyeball reading. I'm reading this book called The Apocalypse, The Undead World by Peter Meredith.
Fiction?
And it's
Or is
fiction.
it like a prepare for the apocalypse book?
No, it's fiction. It's like zombies. And it follows all these different, it's kind of like The Walking Dead or whatever, and the collapse of everything. So, but since it's eyeball book, I don't read it as fast. Because I like my audiobooks. I don't know how I turned into this person, but I finished the YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves or Eves. I don't know how you say his name, but it was really, really good because it told me like all this stuff and all these little tricks and like all this neat stuff. And I loved it so much I bought the hardback because
And
if
you've been focusing a lot on making your YouTube channel.
Right. I've been studying a lot and I'm fixing to like start putting out like solid, good content. Like I've been doing all this stuff and I was feeling sick last week, but I'm going to start doing that. And just as another avenue for people to find my books and learn about me. And, it's just another marketing thing. And hopefully also like give out good, useful content, So I had to like, I feel like I practiced enough with TikTok that I can do this now. So
Yeah.
but I liked that book a lot. And then the one that your brother also loves is The Comet Effect by Darren Hardy. Remember you said he said something about it in his chat that he loved it too.
Yeah.
It's an
So
amazing book.
what is it about? Because he was referencing it with he's on this crazy diet because he's going to run a marathon. And so like he was referencing it more towards, his focus on that. So it's confusing to me what it actually is about.
Well, it's basically, compounding means something like gains more attraction as it goes along. So like for whatever thing in your life. So if you're trying to do a marathon, you don't like wake up tomorrow and, start running 5 miles or whatever. Like it might be that you spend a week stretching, but every day you spend those 5 minutes stretching, and then maybe the next week it's just building and building and building so that eventually you get to where you want to be. And then you can stay at that level or keep growing because it's just for people that yo-yo a lot, like myself, off of everything. It's just up and down, all or nothing. It's good because it gives you like, it helps you kind of like frame your brain on how to do whatever it is that you're trying to do and make it last and make it like a solid foundation for it or whatever. So like, like he was talking about, the guy on the author was talking about how he had this friend who he didn't even to bend over to get stuff out of the bottom cabinets because he was too overweight, and if he bent down to go do that, then it was hard for him to get back up. But then he decides one day he's gonna get really skinny and have abs, and he got a personal trainer and like all this stuff, and it just reminded me of me. Like it's just the all or nothing. Like I'm either a couch potato or I'm gonna be like a model,
Fitness star.
like
yeah.
And so this guy and the guy Darren was like, don't do this, don't do it. He was like the you. And the friend's like, no, I spent all this money. I'm gonna work out 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day. I gotta go see my. And he's like, but listen, what happens when you can't work out that for 2 hours a day one day? Then you feel bad about yourself. And then the next day you're like, well, I missed yesterday, so what's the point now? And then he's like, you need to be like, work out for 20 minutes a day, like, or work out for an hour 3 times a week. Like you're going too all or nothing, and it's going to crash because it's not sustainable. And of course the guy was like, whatever. And then of course, he crashed and burned. And and so and then another guy he was talking about was like something to do with his marriage. And this Darren guy's like, I spent a whole year every single day writing something about my wife that I appreciated. And and I gave it to her like on Thanksgiving or something, like what I'm thankful about or whatever. And she cried or whatever. And he said, but as I was writing that, it made me really start looking for just, generic things or do like, he's had to search for different things. And he's like, I just like totally fell back in love with my wife. And so he's like trying to tell his friend to do the same thing. And so his friend was like, okay. So he went to his wife and he was like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be a better husband. And and he did all like whatever he said. And the girl was like, oh my gosh, I was about to divorce you. So I'm so happy that you're trying now or whatever. And so basically he, by this kind of like compound effect, like doing a little bit each day to like work on yourself for your marriage or whatever, it makes something like more strong in the long run, like, and so he gave a lot of examples about like different people that, like some people race to the finish but they might, peter out along the way or whatever. Like, so it's basically slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. And so anyway, it was very inspiring. And I even messaged you and was like, this book's so good. I loved it. I also had to have the hard cover of that one too. So, and then I got some more. I just finished Rich Dad's Guide to Becoming Rich Without Cutting Up Your Credit Cards.
Oh.
By Robert T.
Now you're a rich dad.
Yeah. So he had like, his dad was the poor dad, but like his friend's dad was the rich dad, I guess. And so he learned a lot about finance and stuff like that from his rich dad, is what he called him. And he had a lot to say. And one of the things that he said was, losers can't afford to lose. So they never like take risks.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to lose. Because if they do, everything falls apart. But winners can afford to lose. So they keep taking the risks and then they keep winning. You know what I'm saying? And so it was just very like, it's like, I really enjoyed that. I actually finished it and it was like, this is Audible, we're done or whatever. And I was like, what? It's over? Like, I didn't realize it was done. I was like, I listened to that whole thing really fast. Okay. And then the new one is Do It Anyway, Girl by Michelle Cunningham. And that's the one that I'm taking her course on, like how to be like, you do your YouTube videos. And it's funny because, I say this all the time, but I'm like, she's like me. Like whenever I listen to her, I'm like, I can relate to her, like her personality, like she's kind of weird, like me, like, I don't know. Yeah. And so I love being able to relate to somebody and feel like that person gets me, and so now I want to consume everything that she's put out there and all of her books and all of her classes and see more of her videos because I feel like we're best friends. And in her video, she's like, yeah, we're best friends. And I'm like, yeah, we're best friends, So she already said it. So anyway, yeah, that's all I'm reading. So.
Well, good. I'm happy to see that you've picked up a fiction book.
Yeah.
Recently.
Somewhere along the way. And I haven't read much of it, but yeah. And I mean, I don't know if it counts that I read my own books because I write them and then I read back through and read them. So
did you finish the second episode of
no, but I'm getting closer. I got sick so I took a little break, but hopefully next week I'll finish it.
Okay, because I want it like now. It's gonna be so good. You're gonna sell 1 million copies of that because it's so good.
Hey, dude, I'm giving it for free.
Oh yeah, that's right. Better subscribe to Kay Webster's newsletter because she's got some really good things coming your way.
Yes, so true.
While you're at it, sign up for mine.
Yep. And you've got a book coming out really soon.
I do, in 2 days. Petra's Bikers releases in 2 days. Yay! I'm really, really proud of it. And not only that, but I'm really proud at how I've built this series. So yeah, I'm excited. And then 2 weeks after that, I have my little redheaded stepchild book, Crow's Scorn. Yep. The story is really, really fantastic, and I can't wait to release that one too.
Yeah, I'm excited. Every time you pull out a new teaser, I'm like, what? I need this book. This is so pretty. Like you're doing really good with your teasers. Like,
Thank
I'm really
you.
proud. I saw that one. I was like, this is art. And you're like, are you being sarcastic? I'm like, no, I really love it. It's art.
I'm like, thank you for telling me that because I get so nervous about my teasers.
You're an artist. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. All right. So we will be back in 2-ish weeks.
Right? You have family coming, so it might
be 3.
weird. Right?
Or we can be proactive and record before then.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
The podcast book that I'm listening to is like, you should batch record. And I was like,
oh. Wow.
you guys
That is just
spend an entire day together over Zoom.
Wow, that is just I don't even know what to say to that.
Settle in. We're going again right after this.
Oh God.
All right. We will talk to you soon. Remember to hit the subscribe buttons. Remember to drop us a comment. If you have questions, if you have comments, if there's things you want us to talk about, let us know because we are here for you. I mean, we love talking to each other, and that's why we started this entire podcast. But we love that we're bringing you into the conversation. So let us know what you're thinking, and we will see you soon. Bye.